at one point I was invited to speak for a radio interview at CBC about some advertisement that had gone out for a razor blade. And it was all about making fun of men, shaming them for being horrible, and saying, stop being so horrible. Mm-hmm. And the concept that was used, of course, was toxic masculinity. And I said, few things wrong with this. Nobody's ever defined this concept of toxic masculinity. No one has even felt the need to define it. It's treated as though it were obvious, when it's anything but. Are you saying that all men are in some way horrible? Why do you use the word toxicity? Men are poisonous in some way? Is it a small group of men who are poisonous? What's your point? How are they poisonous? What are they doing? You're using the word toxic. Why? Where did that come from? So that's one issue. The other is that shaming a group of people has never been an effective strategy for making change. And relying on shaming to think that you're going to create change is foolish. Flies in the face of an awful lot of experience in attempts to create behavior change in our society. Shaming, what's going to happen? You have, let's say it's somebody who's a violent guy, who's horrible in relationships, who really has those stereotyped masculinity perspectives that you find so awful, listens to this ad. How does he react? He says, this is ridiculous. I'm not going to buy that razor blade. Thinks it's stupid. Who's going to listen to it? The much more balanced and kind and compassionate man who will listen to it. Some of them will feel, gosh, I really do need to feel some shame here for being male. How terrible to be male. Others will just say, why are you accusing me of this? That's not who I am. Where's this coming from? You can disrupt that conversation that's needed to actually create positive change rather than make positive change, and yet feel quite virtuous in doing it. So shaming, that kind of approach, not an effective way to go about it. Concepts that are vaguely defined in pejorative labels like toxic masculinity, not helpful, not the way to go about it. So that's been a way of trying to have an input to the way the conversation is going, the way action is being taken. And I think the men's groups, like the one you're affiliated with, are really a good idea because they highlight this other perspective. They say there's other ways to look at it. There are more effective ways to go about this. We need to establish connections and conversation and respectful discourse.